Welcome to the Folktale Project. This is Dan Scholes. Today we have our final story from Simon Roy Hughes's translations of folklore from Norway. And this story is, well, normally it's one that I would save until Christmas time because it is about a Nisse. But there's something about this particular one and the fact that I'm now rereading Harry Potter with my 9-year-old daughter that I had to share a Nisse tale just because. This is the Nisse who was given new trousers. On a farm somewhere, I think it was Jarlsberg, they had a Nisse who was very kind and helpful. But it could be that he grew angry too, and then he was not good to share a stall with. Then he could think of putting newborn calves down in the barrel, pouring out the milk for the milkmaid, and numerous other pranks. Therefore, both the man and the milkmaid thought that it was best to give the Nisse satisfaction in everything that was reasonable, and they probably didn't regret it either. The milkmaid was sure to put the really good sour cream porridge in the barn every holiday, and every Christmas Eve she put an extra pat of butter in it, so that the porridge was both fatty and good. And the man didn't forget to put out new clothes for the Nisse for the Christmas holiday, so he needn't freeze in the cold of winter. It was easy to see that the Nisse understood all the good he received, for nowhere did the cows have it so good as on that farm. And the horses hardly needed mentioning, for the Nisse cared for these best of all. When the man came home, he needn't bring in the horses, he just unharnessed them, and the Nisse did the rest. Putting them in the stable, rubbing them down well with straw, putting hay in the manger, and filling the water bucket. The man knew this, and therefore he let the Nisse care for the horses as he wished. And, as he was so well pleased with the Nisse in everything, one day he brought him a nice new pair of white leather trousers. The next day the man and the boy had been out driving, and as it was raining as if the heavens had been opened, they let the horses stand and hurried inside. They thought the Nisse would bring them in as he usually did, but he who didn't come was the Nisse. They went to the window to see how things were going with the horses, and then the Nisse stood in the barn doorway, so pleased with himself, with his hands pushed deep into the pocket of his leather trousers. And he didn't appear to be thinking about bringing the horses now, if ever. The man grew annoyed, don't you know, and so he went to the door and shouted, "Dear me, what does this mean? Don't you see the horses today?" And then the Nisse struck his thighs with both hands and laughed until he almost rolled around. When he finally got his breath back, he tightened himself up, put one leg forward, put his hands in his trousers pockets again, and said, "Surely you don't want me to go out in this bad weather with my new white leather trousers on, do you?" And that is the Nisse who was given new trousers. A story that I just had to share it and read it today. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope that you have really enjoyed these stories from Norway that our good friend Simon Roy Hughes has translated for us. And I promise it won't be so long until the next time that I share some. This is Dan Scholes for the Folktale Project. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, anywhere you like to get your podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Folktale Project. You can find us on Auto Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you like to listen. And you can always head over to folktaleproject.com, where you'll find a new story waiting for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Next week, we'll be back with 3 new tales. As always, thank you so much for listening.